Hi, everyone. I'm so sorry.
Hi.
I was in a meeting that ran a little over.
That's okay.
Hey, Giselle. Hey, Jay. No problem.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Pretty good.
Hey, that man got a haircut. What's
I
up,
did.
Dana?
The barbershops are open. So,
That's right.
Good job.
so we just started sharing information, but we have not officially opened the meeting. We literally just started about 3 minutes ago. So
Okay, thank you.
and stop there, and y'all can officially open the meeting as a board, and then we will also click the start button on the YouTube live.
Okay.
Looks like
Now,
it's already.
yeah, is it required? Oh, yeah, it is live. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna need to jump off. I don't know how long we have slated for the meeting. I'm sorry, but something else important came up that is in conflict with us, and both are equally important. So I want to try to split my time as best I can. So in about 20 minutes, I might have to jump off the call.
Okay, well,
I think that should be enough. Just looking at
Yeah, we have a brief.
Go ahead.
So yeah, so if y'all go ahead and open it up, we'll jump right into it. And Bianca, you can just backtrack a little bit so Giselle can hear your comments. We can go ahead and get
Thank
going
you.
now.
Okay. Sorry.
So
It is what time is it? I'm sorry. 2:16. And we will officially bring the meeting of the programs committee to order. Okay, are we doing a roll call?
Yes.
Okay.
Roll call, Mrs. Giselle Johnson Banks,
Present.
Miss Andronika Morris,
President.
Mr. Edgar Chase IV,
Thank you. Okay. So old business, were we doing a status update? Was Bianca?
Madam Chair, just a point of order with making sure again that I know we're live streaming now. Just want to make sure that where people are to the live stream, because I'm getting texts from folks that they still can't see. And I think I know we had this problem last time that they were going to the wrong place.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll look into it right now.
Okay. People were going the wrong place. It's that's
correct. The wrong link. Yeah. Thank you, Angelina. Okay. So let us know, Damon, whenever you have that the link, the correct link posted. Just interrupt us and let us know.
Okay. And then Elizabeth, do we have any public comments? While y'all are trying to fix that?
No, not at this time.
Okay. All right, give us 1 second. We'll be right back.
Okay. Bianca, you still there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Good 9 months.
Oh,
9 months. Yes, isn't that something? So thank you for your work on that program and getting that rolled out. Yeah, it looked really good. You're welcome.
Thank you.
All right, we're good to go. We're back live.
All right.
All right.
Okay. No, you all need to move for the minutes. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, we have to do minutes first, right? And then we were doing new business.
Well, yeah, I was just going down the agenda. That's okay. Old business status update, the cooperative endeavor agreement. We have public comments, and then new business approval of the April 21st minutes. Am I on the right thing? Maybe I'm not in the right frame.
No, the full board meeting, the program committee meeting, the agenda's
Gotcha. Yep.
above it. Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah,
I'm
we're
sorry.
on the minutes now.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Okay. Sorry about that. All right.
Mm.
Approval of the February 18, 2020 minutes. I think it's just you and I.
Yeah. So yeah, Madam Chair, having reviewed the minutes, I move adoption.
Second. The minutes are approved. Thank you. We'll go to the program update, single family.
Sure. So as it relates to the OWN New Orleans program, these are some guideline changes that have currently came from our servicer directly to our lender. They've kind of revised the credit score to 660. They're requiring 1 month of reserves. They're requiring 6 months of employment history now. In addition to the COVID-19, they're now requiring a forbearance agreement and income documentation, verifying income as it relates maybe up to like 30 minutes before closing. So it's a lot of
Wow.
guidelines that have kind of changed as it relates to us rolling out this green mortgage program that we'll kind of just get this updated into here. They've given sample forms that we can kind of use to kind of go along with this, that we're now required to submit with any new loans that we do. In addition to that, a quick update on the program release. So we still need to
Okay.
revise the guidelines based upon these new changes. Still need to work with lenders to kind of get them enrolled, vendor agreements, finalize those, still make project management. We still need to make a selection on the project management. The solicitation closed about 2 weeks ago, so we need to make that final selection. We have to finalize the website content in addition to where we are with the green mortgage. The main thing is just getting lenders enrollment. I've had a conversation with lenders last week, and some already have a 2 or 3K product, that they already have the full 2 or 3K. So that's some of the pushback that we're getting. Some just don't want to deal with that again. So we just kind of gotta, work it the way we gotta work it to get them enrolled in it. As it relates to the Pathways property, 7 properties still remain in the portfolio. We got 1 property where the listing agreement is currently expired. We're going to relist.
Okay.
The community support fund. So we finalized the guidelines. Thanks to you all for your help in that, getting that pushed through. We appreciate that. As it relates to technology, we finalized that. Technology is up and running. We have a full submission portal. Everything is. As it relates to staff, I've kind of went through the process. We have 4 different processes. So we have an intake process, verification, eligibility, and then approval process. So we have 4 layers of processes that we kind of go through. We're still working with partners. As you can see on the next page, as of May 14th, we had 180 applications that were requested. I think, many people have received the email blast, and it kind of went out to a lot of people that were disabled, income really wasn't affected or impacted by the COVID-19. So they really kind of disqualified. And many people just don't have the technology to complete the applications, is what we're finding. Many people say, they complete it on their phone. They can upload the documents per their phone, but they can't complete the actual application on their phone. You have to actually download it, complete it, save it, and then re-upload it back. It's PDF fillable, but you still have to download it. So you need a piece of the actual application. So as of May 14th, we had 36 completed applications, completed documentation received from applicants, 23. And landlords, we haven't had any landlords as of May 14th execute the agreements. So it's kind of a struggle with them, even to get them to go on there and complete the documentation. You would think everybody would want some money, but it's kind of even a struggle with them, So we've been reaching out to them individually, calling them, emailing them.
We're having the same problem. We have a similar program that we're trying to do, and they get nervous because they know when you're stepping in with these funds from other sources, or as opposed to how they're normally used to sometimes treating their tenants.
Mhm.
Even though we're trying to help them, you know, to get their rents paid, so that they can pay their other bills, and they're just kind of hesitant because they think that they're going to be losing out. It's like, yeah, you're not going to, yeah, we're going to try to help you, but
Mhm.
it's
It's rough.
it's rough. It
Yeah.
is. It's really rough. Yeah, but you
Yeah.
guys got to keep at it. Hold the line. You got to hold the line. You got to have the standards. Yeah.
And I think part of our problem is through the portal that we have, the landlord part, it allows for only an administrator. And, you know, if we open it up to everyone, you know, we kind of have like the FANO credit card information, things like that. So everyone can have access to that. So it's like putting a burden just on one individual to kind of get that portion of it done,
Mhm.
completed. So we're looking to kind of revamp that in any way we can to kind of move it along, following up every day, calling them, you know, emailing them. We've even called the spouses to kind of get them to work on getting it in, you know.
Uh-huh.
So that's where we are with the community support fund. We've even reached back out to the tenants, you know, asking them for additional information, additional contact. I've had some landlords text me, you know, asking me to reach out. Can they reach out, you know, after hours? And I've said, yes, that's
Mhm.
okay, just to get it done. But as of now, we've kind of had about maybe 6 completed. So that's good. We are moving along. We are seeing progress. As it relates to multifamily, the developer program, the CEA is expected to get the ordinance with the CEA that's expected to go through the council this coming Thursday. Right, Damon, if I'm correct on that? That's going to go through on Thursday.
Sorry, I was on mute.
Nope.
Yes. We're on the city council's agenda for Thursday, yes.
Okay, that's great.
Okay, as it relates, revising the pilot policy, it's really not revising, it's probably just adding on. What we've noticed is that we have a financing application, and we got a policy that speaks more to the pilot program versus all of the various financing that's available. So we're gonna kind of just put some additional language in there to kind of match what's in the actual pre-app and what'll be an actual application. So just
Okay.
add in a few layers to that. Finalizing the draft developer financing application. So the full application, we're still working on getting that finalized. Hopefully we'll have that done within the upcoming weeks. Software, as it relates to that, we need to make a selection overall on software. So, you know, we issued a RFP for software. Those proposals are in. So the executive committee just needs to get together, make that selection. Once that's done, we'll kind of work with that software provider to get an implementation schedule done. Once that's completed, you know, hopefully we'll get that launched and ready. That'll be that developer portal that we've kind of been talking about lately.
Mhm.
In addition to that, staffing, you know, we still looking at multiple staffing, you know, that we may need. One additional one that we do have posted is the multifamily program analyst that we need to get filled. You know, I think Enrique said this 100 times, we're gonna need staffing for this program. You know, it really weighs a lot on the individual staff because you're pulled in so many different directions, especially with so many programs being released at once. So we are looking at additional staff just to make sure that we can meet the needs of the development community and also still serve the communities that we serve with the single family products. So yeah, we are going to be looking at additional staffing requirements.
What's your time frame for getting the RFP selection done?
We have that scheduled this week, this Friday, to make that selection.
Okay.
Yeah, so this Friday, we had 2 companies respond to the solicitation. So yeah, we have this Friday to make that selection. We have that scheduled.
That's great. Okay.
Okay.
And to add to what Bianca's saying about the CEA with LHC in the city, that is going before City Council for final approval on Thursday. Once City Council signs off on that CEA, we can begin underwriting pilot bonds. We won't be able to do inclusionary zoning, still has some work to go. We still have some mapping that needs to be done. But in terms of affordable housing projects, we'll be able to provide pilots and bonds to traditional affordable housing projects. So we'll get that
And that's
signed.
what I wanted to, that's when we were talking about this yesterday with Bianca on the Smart Housing Mixed Packer team, was that that's what's going to get approved on Thursday is just the CEAs. But you guys are going to still hold off on the IZ piece because the map's not finished.
Correct.
But you'll have
Okay.
you'll be able to in theory, but you can't, the program isn't ready to go. FANA will be ready to rock and can start doing things, but it can't do full IZ until the city finishes everything. But we will have the authority
Okay.
to do, well, we already have the authority technically,
Right.
but we'll have the program guidelines for how
Sure.
we're doing it with the city.
Now, we did have an unofficial conversation with the city about how do we move forward in the meantime. And you just said we have the authority to do these transactions. So we're not waiting on approval to do the transactions. We were developing a cooperative relationship that will clear the way for us to do these transactions consistently. So now that we have that in place, there may be ways for us to pilot the pilot program, if you will, get it going before everything is quite ready.
Yeah.
So we'll have that approval on Thursday. All the things that Bianca mentioned are still going on in the background. So we're going to coordinate with city and the LHC about announcing this to the community. We've been in contact with developers. We've been talking with Genoha, and we've been letting them know that everything is on its way. We've already sent out pre-applications and have received some back
Okay.
already. So once we have all of our pieces in
Okay.
order, we'll be able to officially launch this.
4 o'clock works. Okay.
And it'll be a little piece at a time,
And I
but
can stay, a little longer.
beginning in June, July, you'll start to see more information come out about the development.
Okay.
So this is a great milestone for us, the organization, for the city. So thank y'all for the support and the push in getting us here. Now we have to actually start developing some housing. So we have the platform in place, we have the agreements in place. We're working on putting all the financing in place, the infrastructure, everything that the community has given us feedback on what is needed. That's what we've tried to build. So this is a great day for the city, for the organization, just for the community in general. It's an indication that we're moving in the right direction.
Indeed. Indeed.
Okay.
And just a couple other things. I'm sorry, Bianca, do you have any other thing to add to your report?
No, all the things off is the loan production report and the developer pipeline, which doesn't really reflect much change. Yeah. So yeah, that's it. Thing. You can go ahead.
Okay, and I was just going to say regarding the programs, the developer pipeline, that's what we've been reaching out to. We're starting to, like I said, take in some applications, some information. So you'll start to see that pipeline come from us, come from the underwriting committee, and you'll get information ahead of time on the projects that we're underwriting so that you know what's coming and you know what you'll have to approve. So we're starting that process now. We're also developing the marketing calendar for all these program launches. Obviously, the timelines were thrown off by the quarantine. So we are regrouping and developing a new marketing calendar. So we'll be working as a team to figure out precisely when we're going to launch these different programs. So that's underway. We also, we provided it to the finance committee, but I know y'all asked for information about how much money we've spent on the rebranding thus far. And I don't have that precise number. I'll find it for you in a second, but it's roughly $10,000 that we've spent on the rebranding thus far. We don't think it'll take a whole lot more than that. I mean, a whole lot more than that number, but there are some additional costs that'll come about as we roll out the marketing calendar, as we start putting programs out. Some of it has been spontaneous. So we tried to stay flexible and not try to commit the budgeted money to any one particular action, because what we're learning from the Community Support Fund, some of the pre-marketing that we've done for the developer program, is that every situation is going to be a little different. So we want to stay flexible in the early days, but we've been very modest about spending on marketing. Most of the spend thus far has gone toward the setup. But there's more, like I said, there's more official information in the Finance Committee packet. And then lastly, in terms of how do we make these programs stick, particularly the Green Mortgage Program, Bianca was giving you an update on. We're developing partnerships or cooperative arrangements with private corporations as well, not only the governmental agencies, but local corporate stakeholders as well are going to be needed to make this program work. Commercial banks, developers, contractors. On the utility side, we're developing a relationship with Sewage and Water Board and Entergy. So we're fine tuning what all of these relationships are going to look like, these arrangements. We think it's necessary to have them in order to scale the program. So we look at these CEAs that we've been developing for the different program areas. All of these CEAs are intended to put a backbone behind our programs, to put some structure and some cushion or support behind our business lines. Mm-hmm. And so far, I think the CEAs that we do have in place are, going to put us in a position to grow, to develop more business for the community. So every time we release a new program, we go through that process of figuring out who are the key partners, how can we scale this, what CEAs do we need in place, do we need to have any funds transfer from one party to another. That's just a general part of the thought process. So as we move forward and roll out programs, just know that to the extent possible, we'll have agreements, CEAs behind the program with public partners, with private partners that help us scale and provide more access to the program. So I just want to let you know that's the thought process we're going through, not just for the Green Mortgage, but for all of our programs. But a big part of our work has gone towards developing relationships with those stakeholders.
Thank you, Damon. I'm looking at the developer pipeline on here, and these are the folks. So you have like developers' names and stuff, right? Mm-hmm. In here, and these are the folks that we're reaching out to for the deals we're trying to do, or are we still developing and then going through this list and then going to vet and only reach out to certain?
Well, we're reaching out to everyone on the list, and most of these projects have come to us through the city, mm-hmm. Through LHC. So they are already.
They've got some kind of. Right. Yeah, they've got some kind of funding already. They need gap or some help to close them.
Gotcha. Right.
And it's either they've already. Either they've already received the funding, or they're very close to getting the funding from the city.
Okay.
The city has probably given them an indication that they're not quite ready yet, but they're almost ready. So all of those different projects are, we consider opportunities, and that's what's on the list now. But there are some deals that aren't on here yet. We haven't received information on all of these deals. We're reaching out, but this is the universe of what's out there right now. At least these are the ideas that are out there, and this is what we're cultivating. So we think this is a pretty comprehensive list of all of the affordable activity in the city.
Yeah,
I think it can give us some perspective on that from her end, but this is what we thus far.
Thank you.
Yeah, to the size and scale that FANO can, the finance authority can work with. Yeah, there's some more out there, but it's not. They won't necessarily work here yet. I mean, I know Damon and his team are working towards engaging with those smaller deals, but the tools aren't ready yet. But this is a really good start. Some of these folks have actually started already, and it is. I agree with this approach. You got to cast a really, really wide net to get some of these moving. Because they're just they take a really long time to go through, and some of them are going to get going, and Damon and his team can just line up with them, and some of them are going to wait for him, and some of them are, they're going to be second wave, hopefully.
Yeah.
But
this is a list of the developers that are actively doing projects in the city. I think more important.
Gotcha.
this is the list today, but the name of the projects are going to change over time.
Yeah.
But we think it's going to be the same developers. And we also, Andronika, we are developing those solutions for smaller developers. We're starting with some webinars and just free information, some training. So we will have a focus on ensuring that we can elevate some small developers so that they can begin to get a start with 5 or 10 units, but then eventually elevate to doing 30-unit projects or even larger, because it takes scale to access the type of financing that we have. We can only provide tax-exempt bonds for deals of a certain size. So we're taking that on as a challenge of seeing how many small contractors that are active today and some that haven't even started yet, but how many of those can we invest in and help them matriculate through the system.
Sounds good. Thank you. All right, let me get back to the agenda. I'm sorry, I keep flipping back and forth, y'all. I'm on my phone. Okay. What else? Are we done with the program update?
Yeah,
Anything
I'm
else?
done from my end.
You done? Okay.
Giselle, one last thing.
Yes.
One last thing for you and Andronika. Y'all asked the last meeting, maybe the last couple of meetings, if we were going to put in a request to the city for funding, and the answer to that was yes. So there's a memo in your packet. It's a draft. I'm going to send that over to be approved or to be read in with the CEA. So I sent that information to you to show you what we're.
Is it in the email or is it in the onboard?
It's an onboard.
Okay.
Okay.
It's an onboard.
Okay.
So it has just an update of everything we're working on, but it also has a funding request, very direct funding request. And these are just based on estimates so far of us figuring out what the market size is, what the requirements are going to be, and we try to stretch it out over a longer time frame, a 10-year time frame, because this is going to be a lot. It's going to be bigger dollars than the city is accustomed to investing for housing. So we don't think it's going to come all at once. We think it's going to come over the first few years of the next 10 years. So we're positioning it in that way, and we're being bold with the ask. But this is a conversation we've been having with the city ongoing, we're putting it on paper, and it's going to be put in with this.
I'm sorry, Damon, I don't see it. I'm trying to figure out like where am I know I'm looking in the wrong spot. Is it in the? I'm looking at. Well, hold on. I'm on the agenda.
It should be behind. It should be in the board section of the agenda or of the software.
Oh, and the full board. Gotcha. I'm totally Gotcha. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's great. All they can do is say no.
Oh yeah, that's right.
That's it.
They've been asking us what our needs are, so I think that's a good sign. So I don't know what
that's right.
they'll be able to give us or prepared to invest in us, but like I said, we think the needs are large, so we're thinking large. I think we have a good shot of being successful because they're starting to develop some trust in us as an agency.
Good.
So that's it for me on program comments.
All right, thank you. Andronika, you have something else?
Nope, I'm good.
Okay. We don't have a need for executive session. And I'm on the right agenda still. If there's nothing else, then I'll accept the motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Thank you all. The meeting is adjourned. Thank you all.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you to all of you.
We'll see you guys at 4.
Okay.
Well, I'll be back at 4.
Okay. Well, I'll see
Thanks,
you
bye.
for the meeting. Bye-bye.
Okay, thank you.